Hello, and welcome back to American Aupair Host Mom. Today, we're going to be talking about the executive order that was issued in the United States on June 22nd that affected au pairs and J-1 visas. This effect went into order on June 24th, 12:01 a.m. So this means that anybody who did not already have a J-1 visa at that moment could no longer get one. However, those who were already had a visa, as long as the travel bans in their countries were lifted, could travel, and anyone already in the United States with a visa could continue their program. Obviously, this impacted the program greatly. There has been a lot of lobbying on a part of parents and agencies to help lift this ban, and we are extremely optimistic that perhaps in January that ban will no longer exist. However, in the meantime, there are a few exceptions that can be used to help your overseas au pair come to the United States before this time. So let's talk about what that is. What that is that three main ones that people are talking about. If the host family, either parent, is employed in some kind of business that works on or treats COVID-19 patients, or it is related to it in some way, like researchers that are working to help for the vaccine or anything COVID-19 related, or I've even heard stories of engineers who are working on isolation rooms in hospitals due to COVID-19. So any kind of work related to helping the United States fighting against COVID-19. If either parent is involved in this work, you can apply for this exception. And so far, from stories I've read on Facebook, it seems like this exception is the easiest of the 3 or 4 to get to occur and get approval. The next one on the list is that if the host kid has any kind of medical condition or special education condition that requires special attention and has particular needs, there's a possibility of getting this approved. And I put the particular needs in parentheses because this is a bit subjective. And again, from stories I have heard, some people have easily been approved and other people have had a really hard time. And it's when you compare the cases, it's not equal. It is definitely up to each embassy and the person who is interviewing the au pair to decide if there is enough documentation and proof that not only the host kid has been diagnosed, but that the au pair has special skills to deal with this. There are other exemptions that you can look for, and I will put the link in the comments for this video on the exact wording and the other exemptions that you can try to apply for to get au pairs from overseas to the U.S. One of them is if having the au pair here will prevent the host kid from using public medical benefits. There's some others about wards and other special foreign policies or foreign diplomatic things that we have agreed to. These are obviously more rare, but again, I'll have the comments showing the link so that you can read the exact wording on this. It's also recommended that obviously you have all the documentation in place, but that you go ahead and contact your local congressperson or senator and let them know that you're looking to do this, and sometimes they can help speed up the process and advocate for you, so it's definitely worth a try. Other things to know are that, like I said, you want to be really prepared for this. If your au pair goes to their visa appointment and they are rejected, there's no appeal process. However, you can apply for a second appointment, but the risk goes up. Obviously, you need to understand why they were rejected and have a really good case of why they should be approved. You should also really be aware of your au pair's immigration history. If they've been rejected in the past for travel to the U.S. for any reason, this will be looked at. And if they have been to the U.S. and anything has been documented that goes towards the illegal side or something that would be a concern, you definitely want to be aware of this ahead of time and be prepared to talk to this. So then the other question is just, are some countries easier than others? I don't have the magic answer to this. Again, I've just been browsing Facebook and other storylines around who has and hasn't been accepted. I have specifically heard people mention that they have got the approval through these national exemptions, such as someone in Poland, a couple in Argentina, a couple in Brazil. A lot of these did say they went through a lot of documentation and they made like a really clear case for this. And then lastly, there are the Aupairs in country and understanding how this affects them. So as I said, that it doesn't affect them in their current situation. And to give a little bit of relief, the United States did put out a extension program that current au pairs can extend 2 and or 6 months with their current visa or DS 2019 form. So that is something that if you have an au pair right now, you can consider doing to give yourselves a little more time, perhaps until that ban is lifted. So these are the main points, and please, if you have had personal experience with getting exemptions, hints about better documentation or which countries, I'd love to hear that in the comments. Definitely Google your local embassy to see what the travel rules are, if the embassy is open, and what kind of requirements they're having in regards to setting emergency appointments for this national exemption. So that is everything I have today. I hope you enjoyed this. Please, if you have, check out my other videos and subscribe. Thank you.